There are many types of jobs around the world, some being weirder than others. So if you are familiar with jobs like doctor, cashier, or librarian, considering them a normal part of our lives, then you need to know that there are quite a few jobs that are rather unusual.
Experience in all aspects of video production. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, sir, for the past 7 years, I've been producing original video content for YouTube.
YouTube?
Yes, sir. I think that YouTube is the perfect training ground for producing video resumes that really stand out from the crowd.
We picked the 10 most unusual jobs that you can find out there. So if you are ready to be intrigued, do take a look at the following occupations that actually allow some people to earn a living in spite of what you may think. Number 10. Professional pusher. You've probably seen these guys on a few viral videos floating around social media sites, showing that no matter where you're from, your peak hour train commute couldn't be much worse than it is here in Japan. Known in Japanese as oshiya, or pushers, they're paid to literally shove people into the carriages. Typically, the workers are part-time workers, maybe students, or other station staff. Since the 2000s, many of these workers have probably had to go on and seek out other jobs, as many of the nation's trains are a lot less crowded than in the past, thanks to their impeccable punctuality. Number 9. Professional sleeper. I wish I could be paid for sleeping is something most of us have thought at some point in our lives, mostly right after we wake up to go to work. It makes sense too, as sleeping is amazing. But what if we were to tell you that you could actually get paid to sleep? In some cases, you'll earn a lot, depending on where you sleep. A professional sleeper is a serious occupation and provides services that are required in many modern industries. Although it's not your typical full-time job, you could earn a sizable income if you land the right gigs. From researchers who regularly need sleep testers for various experiments, to mattress brands that need sleepers to test their products, and artists who require sleeping subjects, professional sleeping could be a lucrative career if you advertise yourself well enough. Number 8. Parabolic Expert. When you train to be an astronaut, one of the first things you have to learn is how to maneuver yourself in a gravity-free environment. Although it may not sound like a big deal, you'd be surprised how difficult it is. Inherently, our bodies are trained to only work in gravity. It takes a long time just to get used to a gravity-free environment, let alone be able to engage in day-to-day functions in it.
Heavier and heavier. But then you're getting lighter and lighter and lighter until you just float up. It was really like flying, and your body doesn't really know what to do. Like, your instinct is to just pedal, which is terribly ineffective.
The people who impart that training are known as parabolic experts, one of the most coveted and highly skilled occupations in the going into space industry. In fact, only 9 people in the world are qualified to do it. First, they must become excellent at free-falling in an aircraft, also known as the vomit comet in casual NASA lingo. This is the only way to simulate a microgravity environment on Earth for training potential astronauts to go on missions. It's not their job to actually go into space, even though they're a crucial part of nearly every space mission. Number 7. Professional mourner. If you can look sad and cry on demand, you would probably make a good actor or a professional mourner. Yes, that's a thing in many countries, including the UK, where this industry is booming. For a small fee, the mourners will attend the funeral, act really sad, shed a few tears, and even deliver a eulogy. They will also learn a few things about the deceased so they could carry a conversation like they actually know them. This custom was brought to Europe by immigrants from the Middle East and Asia, but it can also be found in other cultures, and it tends to be even more dramatic, with mourners wailing and even rolling around on the ground. Number 6. Professional line standers. Who doesn't hate waiting in line? Well, for the right price, you never have to wait in line again, because professional line standers are a real thing. This is the perfect job for those special few who actually do not mind waiting in line, or for those who want the most brainless job possible. These people tend to be extremely busy during big sales like Black Friday, new product launches like a new Apple product or a limited edition pair of Jordans, and of course, for tickets. This may seem like possibly the most boring job ever. However, it's actually quite genius to think you can earn money for literally just standing. One professional line stander claims to earn an average of $1,000 a week, which is pretty insane considering the amount of work you need to put in for it. Companies like line standing provide you with someone who will wait in line so you do not have to, proving that money can buy you almost everything in life.
I've been in line now 47 hours, 42 minutes. We charge $25 for the first hour and $10 each additional half hour, so a 48-hour wait is $965. On a good week, a good month.
Number 5. Iceberg Movers. Potable drinking water is already on the brink of running out for the whole world. We may not hear much about it because the crisis isn't as dire in the loudest parts of the world yet. Many countries are now looking to Earth's natural ice reserves for help. They are devising plans to haul entire icebergs from the South Pole to their shores to harvest water. The job is given to iceberg moving companies, where you can apply to work if you're up for it. Iceberg moving may sound impossible, like mountain relocation or beach stealing. However, many Middle Eastern countries are already grappling with serious water scarcity issues, so they're willing to give it a shot. Some iceberg towing companies are already on their way to get the first icebergs to some of those countries. Middle Eastern governments are also hoping that huge floating icebergs off the shores of their countries may serve as tourist attractions too. Number 4. Futurist. Many current jobs have never existed before, including that of a futurist. If it sounds like someone who sits around all day and makes predictions like a fortune teller, it absolutely is. Except that the predictions have to be backed by data. It is one of the more accessible jobs on this list, though not for scientific fields. In fact, anyone can apply to be a futurist, as many new age firms are starting to see the importance of the position. A futurist's role is to study current data and make reasonable predictions about future trends based on that information. A government may employ a futurist to predict social changes in order to estimate taxes in the future. An advertising firm may try to find out what kind of messaging consumers are likely to respond to 20 years from now. Depending on your field, a job as a futurist can be as awesome as it sounds, or just entail data crunching all day, like your old job. Number 3. Deer urine farmer. Deer urine. Not something you would normally think about, or deer urine farmers for that matter. People who collect and sell Bambi's pee to hunters for a living. And yes, they are a thing. Buyers use the urine, marketed as deer hunting scent, to attract a poor, unsuspecting deer. And bam! Venison steak with stroganoff sauce. Number 2. Shark Tank cleaner. Most people visiting a Shark Tank, not the TV show, have a great time. Maybe have a snack or two, and then return home. However, the curious ones look at the whole setup and think, I wonder who cleans that? There's no way to keep the artificially created ecosystem healthy without someone actually going into the tank and manually cleaning it. In fact, there are Shark Tank cleaners tasked with doing exactly that. The job is dangerous because the sharks are always in the aquarium. You can't just make an expensive secondary tank to house the animals until the cleaning is done. However, the cleaning isn't what makes this a badass job. It's getting used to being around sharks that are already angry at all humans for keeping them in captivity. The cleaners have to learn shark behavior and be good at diving, as well as knowing when to get out to even be considered for the role. They spend around 30 to 40 hours in the tank per week as part of their job. Number 1. Odor Judge. Smell is an important scent, which is apparent by how many products rely on it to make sales. From soaps to deodorants to candles, how a product smells is as much a part of its commercial success as its appearance. So who is in charge of making sure that things smell the way they should? You guessed it, presumably from the title of this entry. Odor judges determine the best smell for a particular product. Obviously, they have to go through plenty of bad odors, like those from armpits, to come up with a deodorant to counter the smell. It may sound like a horrible job, but it's also a crucial one. They also deal with issues like whether a particular type of seafood is contaminated by a nearby oil spill. Of course, you have to have a keen sense of smell to qualify for this job, and it may end up paying quite well if you work at a large organization. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.